It's 2024 and Super GT is kicking off to another new season full of news. This includes new cars, new teams, a new qualifying system, and more. And in this video, I want to point out some of these new features for Super GT this year of 2024. Welcome once again to another video of Japanese racing cars on YouTube. Let's get into it. Before we start talking about the news in general, I'd like to say my apologies for not being constant here and especially for not uploading this video a month ago. I'm saying that because the 2024 Super GT season has already started at Okayama a few weeks ago, and at the time of the production of this video, the second round at Fuji is just days away, or it's already being placed. I do all by myself here and I'm constantly trying to balance my production duties while working hard here in Japan. With that being said, let's start. 2024 is such a special year for Super GT as it's the 19th run under this name and, most importantly, it's the 30-year anniversary of this championship, which includes the JGTC era that started back in 1994. And for this 30th run of Super GT that drafts the JGTC era, we have some pretty awesome new stuff coming along. Starting talking about what I consider the most shocking and really confusing for all of us, especially for those who are not too much into lap times. After running a qualifying format similar to Formula 1 since 2013, for 2024, Super GT is adopting a radical aggregate system for the qualifying sessions. This means that the two sessions are now combined in the final standings of the qualifying day. For example, if you're the first one in session 1, you need to make sure that the session 2 will be even better. If not, your rival will steal your pole position by sampling a new record on the second session even though the time was worse in the first session. That's confusing, right? But don't worry, it will get worse in the GT300, because this example mentioned the word for the GT500 cars. Due to the large number of GT300 cars present on the grid, the Q1 are divided into two groups, Group A and B. Those who score the top 8 of Q1 would be regrouped to the Q2 Group 1, and the rest of the field that didn't make it to the top 8 of the GT300's first qualifying sessions goes to the Q2 Group 2. Once Group 1 and 2 have run on track, the final grid order will be based in the following orders. From pole position to the 12th place are the ones with the combined times from the Q2 Group 1. From 13th place to 20 are the ones with combined times of the top 4 in Q2 Group 2 and bottom 4 in Q2 Group 1. Positions 21 to 27 are the combined times of the remaining cars that finished 5th or lower in the Q2 Group 2. In the event of rain, the GT300 grid will be determined by the Q2 times only. For both GT500 and GT300, all the teams must use the very same tire compound during the whole qualifying, and it needs to start with them during the race weekend. In my humble opinion, the aggregate system for qualifying is really confusing and it will be hard to understand, even though I'm making this video to explain all the basics, as not all people are good at math. Another news from the paddock includes that GT300 cars will gonna use 50% of carbon neutral fuel provided by ETS Racing Fuels, mixed with regular gas of the championship. GT500 cars have been using this carbon neutral fuel by ETS since 2023 and it's 100% there. Also, for this season, teams are now allowed to use 4 sets of dry tires during a race of 300 km, 5 for 350 km races and 6 for the 3-hour endurance events. The weight handicap or success ballast for GT300 cars were now reduced from 100 kilos to 80 kilos in favor of the balance of performance adjustments per race. Due to this, they will gonna feature additional ballast rate apart from the success ballast between 33 and 52 kilograms. And it will change depending on the data collected by the organization for each car during each race and track. Also, in the GT500, to reduce cornering speeds regarding the horrific accidents we had in 2022 and 2023, the minimum ride height has been raised by 5 mm by increasing the thickness of the skid block. In case you don't know what's a skid block on a race car, it's this. Now, let's talk about my favorite thing about this championship, the cars. All the teams from GT500 cars remain for this year, although with significant changes among drivers, teams, and in case of Honda, a new vehicle. For this year, Honda is replacing the successful NC1 generation NSX GT in favor of the all-new Civic Type R-GT, based on the FL5 platform. If you're a newcomer to Super GT, make sure that this Civic is rear-wheel drive as per mandatory regulations. Although it's not a new model, the ZGT500 has got a new upgraded aero, based on the front fascia of the Z NISMO model released this year as well. The GR Supra is the one that has less significant changes, although it has some on the aero, but not too much different from the previous iterations of the car since 2020. New cars are present in the GT300 field as well. The Ferrari 296 GT3 is making its debut in the series this year, with 2 units apiece entered by Team Le Mans and Ponos Racing by Garnier respectively. Also, for this year, a new GTA GT300 non-FIA GT3 or model chassis car is set to make its race debut in the second round of Super GT, which is the Nissan Z GT300, fully developed by Garnier themselves to replace the GTR NISMO GT3. And the station racing is back to Super GT, now with the Aston Martin Vantage GT3. Hope team Tsuchiya, which suffered a massive loss of its car back in 2023, is back with the very same car, the bespoke built GR Super GT300, now totally restored. Speaking about drive changes and etc, let's start talking about GT500. The 2023 Super GT GT500 and Super Formula champion Hitomo Miyata is leaving the series in favor of a full season on European soil. For his place, Tom signed the 2019 GT500 champion Kenta Yamashita will join forces to drive the 36 GR Supra alongside Shotsuboi. While there's no driving chance for the number 37 Tom's car, there will be a new face managing them from the pit lane, which is none other than Michael Krum. After 25 years associated with Nissan, the former JGTC and FIA champion is now team director for the number 37 Deloitte Tom's GR Supra, driven by Yukio Sasahara and Giuliano Alessi. Former Honda drivers Nirei Fukuzumi and Toshiki Oyo were transferred to Toyota. Nirei Fukuzumi goes to Rookie Racing while Toshiki Oyo will drive for Tsurumo, replacing the legendary Yuji Tachikawa, who is now the team director for the team. Car care company Keeper is also back as primary main sponsor. Formerly as one of the Tom's cars, it's now for Tsurumo, replacing Zent. To fill the vacancies left by Fukuzumi and Oyo at Honda, Nobuharu Matsushita and Hen Saito join Arta, with Nobu driving the number 8 car with Tomoki Nojiri, while Hen is on the number 16 black-livered Arta Mugen Civic Type R-GT with Hiroki Otsu. As Nobuharu Matsushita is a Arta Mugen driver now, to replace him at Real Racing, Kakunoshi Ota switched from Nakajima Racing to this team, driving the red Astemo-livered Civic alongside the veteran Real Racing and Honda driver Koda Tsukakoshi. Coming from the GT300 class, Hiki Okusa make his debut at GT500 with Nakajima Racing. Going to the Nissan side of things, we had some shake-ups as well in the driver lineup. The only team that has no change despite getting rid of the iconic Calsonic Bright Blue in favor of the new Dark Blue because of Marelli sponsorships is Team Impo, which will maintain the 2022 champions Kazuki Hiramine and Bertrand Baguette driving the Blue Z for the 3rd year in a row. NISMO, now officially with Bridgestone and with 2 cars, the 3 and 23, have a new drivers on board. Mitsunori Takaboshi keeps his driving duties with the number 3 car with a new teammate, Atsushi Miyake, who's coming from the GT300 class. Katsumasa Chiyo is now the driver for the 23 car and it will divide its driving with veteran 4-time GT500 champion Ronnie Quintarelli. 2-time GT500 champion Tsuji Matsuda is now driving for the Kondo Racing 24 car alongside Teppei Natori, who was promoted from the GT300 class at the same team. From GT500 to GT300, here are the changes regarding the lower class of Super GT. As previously mentioned, Garnier will enter a new Z GT300 spec for Ryuichiro Tomita and Keiichi Ichikawa. Hironobu Yasuda parted ways with the team and Nissan after 17 years associated with them. Garnier will also be in charge of Ponos Racing, which enters a Ferrari 296 GT3 with Michelin tires for Kei Cozzolino and Ferrari factory driver and WEC regular Lilo Adu, who's making her debut in the Super GT. The station racing is back with an all-new Vantage GT3 for Tomonobu Fuji and the DTM and Aston Martin factory driver Marco Sorensen, who is also making his series debut. Charlie Fagg came along as the 3rd driver for the Endurance rounds. HELM Motorsports from Super Taikyu goes to Super GT GT300 class with their GTR NISMO GT3 for Kohei Hirate and Team Skull founder Yuya Hiraki, with Heiji Hiraki appointed as the third driver for endurance rounds, as well as two-time JGTC champion Hideo Fukuyama as team director. Kondo Racing GT300 squad still has the two-time GT300 champion João Paulo de Oliveira, but now he's teamed up with Daiki Sasaki, coming from the team's GT500 entry, while Teipei Natori made the inverse. The raging champions of GT300 class Saitama Green Brave has a new driver lineup, as Kota Kawai was replaced by Toyota Gazoo Racing Driver Challenge Seita Nonaka, who also has experience with the team, being the third driver for them and with the car itself, previously driving for Team Tsuchiya as well. Hiroki Yoshida remains with Saitama Green Brave to defend his title earned in 2023 with the iconic green V8 Power GR Super GT300. Team Tsuchiya is also back with the GR Supra that caught fire last year at Fuji. The 2016 GT300 champion Takamitsu Matsui returned to the team after racing for the Team Mach in 2023. Kimiya Sato, who spent the last 3 years with Max Racing, returned to the team as the third driver. The 2023 FIA F4 Japanese champion Hikuto Kobayashi and the runner-up Jin Nakamura made their full-time series debut with APR Racing. Kobayashi drives the number 30 Toyota GR86 alongside Hiroaki Nagai, while two-time GT300 champion Max Zorido stays with the team as the third driver. Nakamura drives the number 31 Lexus LC 500H alongside Kazuto Kotaka, replacing the veteran driver Koki Saga. Yuki Nemoto continues as the third driver for the number 31 team. Tomei Sports team promoted Takuya Otaki, who had been with the team since 2020 as the reserve driver, to a full-time seat in 2024. Atsuji Tanaka will share the role of third driver with rookie Hin Arakawa. Gincana and time attack specialist Yusaku Shibata transferred to News Racing as the full-time driver, replacing Yuki Tanaka. Yusuke Tomibayashi transferred from Team Mach to Pacific Racing Team to replace Lian Jiantong. We moved to the GT World Challenge Asia with Harmony Racing. F4 graduate Yuta Fujiwara will make his series debut as Pacific Racing Team's third driver. And talking about Team Mach, which runs the oldest car on the grid, two-time GT300 champion Kyoto Fujinami and former Garner third driver Yusuke Shiotsu joined Team Mach. Fujinami, who previously drove for Team Mach from 2017 until 2018, will return to the series after missing the 2023 season. Miki Koyama will share the driving duties with Brazilian Igor Fraga and Yuga Furutami at Anes Iwata Bar Arnage Racing as the third driver of the Lexus RCF GT3, was transferred to Arceus Motorsports as the fourth driver for the team, joining Hisashi Wada, Masaki Jonai and third driver Masaki Kano. Kano already replaced Jonai in the opening round of Okayama. Now let's talk about the calendar of the Super GT this year. The calendar for this year's Super GT remains as usual, visiting Fuji, Suzuka, Okayama, Autopolis and Motegi, with the major change this year being Autopolis moving as the penultimate round of the season to avoid a clash with MotoGP. The other big change is the fact that there's now a timed race for Fuji, Autopolis and Suzuka, each being labeled as a 3-hour endurance race. This is the calendar for the Super GT 2024 season. Now let's talk a little bit about the points. Point system remain as usual since 2005, and for those who's the best in the qualifying, they will earn points as well. The system is a little bit different in the team standings. While the general race points remain as usual, if you stay on the same lap as the race winners, you will earn 3 extra points, 2 if you're 1 lap down and 1 if you're 2 or more. GT300 is slightly different in this case, as no matter if you're on the lead lap or 1 lap down, you will earn 3 points by the way. 2 laps down is 2 extra points, while 3 laps down or more is a single point. And these are the biggest changes for Super GT season of 2024. These are the results of the first round held at Okayama. Tons went victorious, being largely dominant during all the weekend, grabbing pole position and the victory. It's followed by the Sard in the second place. with the Civic making its race and podium debut via Team Konemitsu, with the Stanley Civic Type R-GT finishing in 3rd place. The podium for GT300 saw Toyota dominating the 1st place as well, via Milta Racing engine winning with their GR86, being followed by the 2 German FIA GT3 cars of Leon Racing and Team Studi, the AMG GT3 and M4 GT3 respectively. What are your expectations for this season? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more. My name is Nick and this was another video of Japanese racing cars on YouTube. See you in the next one.